have a seat, get cozy. We're gonna start in probably about 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and get started. But yes, so this is our first code chat. So the purpose of this is to basically highlight Black women and women of color in the gaming and tech industry. And so it's really an opportunity for us to get to know who's out there and to, again, like, amplify our voices, because our voices aren't always like centered and prioritized in the gaming community. The gaming community is still a very white, male-centered space. And so I remember, like, growing up, I didn't see myself reflected. Hey, Zara. I was here first. I had to run to the store, though. Welcome to the stream. But yes, so, I remember there was a point, recently when I was starting Brown Girl Gamer Code, and I was like, just trying to find, like, just simple Googling, like, Black women in the gaming industry, Black women in gaming, this, that, and the third. And I was like, hard to find. Like, this information isn't, like, just readily available. They don't really teach you about it in school. Like, even, you think about, like, we have, like, Black History Month. Like, you hear about, like, the same people every month, but, like, you don't really see people talking about, what about Black women that are making history in gaming, in tech. And so, like, I just thinking about ways that we can continue to amplify our voices and center ourselves. And so that is, what's important for Brown Girl Gamer Code, is for us to continue to center ourselves and amplify our voices. Hi, Dreddy. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Thank you for that follow. Welcome to Brown Girl Gamer Code. My name is Bran. I'm the host today, and I'm also the creator for Brown Girl Gamer Code. Welcome to the stream. It's great to have you. Thank you for coming out with us today and hanging with us. Yes, how are you doing, Dreddy? But yeah, so that is really, I done got off on a tangent, but that's the purpose of code chats. And so we'd like for them to be at least once every 3 months. So the next one will probably take place in January, so starting off the year with a code chat, or maybe February since it's Black History Month, but we shall see. But yeah, so once every couple months, really, we'll feature do a live interview with someone in the community, in the industry, so that you all can, see who's out there. Like, I want people to know, like, or have this information, like, available. So I remember, like, a couple weeks ago when I was when Asia, me, and Key, we did a panel for Black women in gaming at MechaCon, and one of the first questions that we asked was, who in here can name a Black woman in the gaming industry? And, like, no one could raise their hand. No one could raise their hand. And this wasn't, it was people, like, Black folks at this con, they couldn't really name someone off the top of their head. And so, like, I want to change that. Like, people should know, who we are and what we're doing. Like, this is, Like, we belong in these spaces. We deserve to feel safe in these spaces and represented in the games, because we spend a lot of money on these games. Listen, if y'all could see how much money I done spent on gaming and all of that, like, I'm pretty sure y'all can agree, like, we spent a lot of money on these consoles and these PCs and streaming and playing these games, and all of that for us to not see ourselves accurately represented or be included in spaces that clearly involve us. Like, it's just not fair, And so I think, as an educator, I work in the education field. I think one of the biggest ways for us to change that is to educate ourselves and educate others on what we're doing. And having, like, making sure people have access to this information. So Yeah, I'm glad that y'all agree. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first of all, for those of you just coming into chat, my name is Bran, and yes, that's why it's so dope that Queen is making her way into the industry. Exactly. That's why it's so dope. So my name is Bran. I'm the creator of Brown Girl Gamer Code, and we are a digital safe space and community for Black women and women of color in the gaming and tech industry. This is our Twitch channel. Hey, Jordan, what's up, little brother? Welcome. This is our Twitch channel, but you can find us on Twitter. We are also on Facebook and Instagram, all the same handle, Brown Girl Gamer Code. So go ahead and check us out. We are gonna get started. So our guest of honor today is Teda Thompson. Her social media is Queen Bo Rain. If you do !chat, you'll get the link to her Twitch page, which also has her Twitter information and Instagram and everything like that. So you can go ahead and show her some love and give her a follow. So Queen is a part of Brown Girl Gamer Code. She was also when we had our very first streamer of the month, she was our first person featured. So she's been down with the code for a while, but she just graduated with her degree in video game design. So we're gonna talk to her about that. So I'm gonna pull Teda up real quick. She's already on the call. We are using Google Hangouts. One more thing, we do have alerts in the chat. So if you do !clap or !null. So we want you all to interact. So really the clap is a simple applause. Yes, right on time, Zara. But yes, we want you all to, engage with us and engage with our guest of honor. So I'm gonna pull her up. All right, Teda, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. your camera and your mic.
All right, it should be coming. Oh, there we go.
There she is.
Hi, everyone.
All right, everyone. So this is Teda. She's a part of Brown Girl Gamer Code, like I said before, and she's our first guest for our code chat. So as we continue to go on throughout the chat, feel free to post questions in the chat. We will have a time at the end of our interview where you all will get to ask questions and Teda will respond. And then we'll also be jumping into the game that she just created for her final project for school. So we'll get to see that as well. Yes, feel free to post any questions in your chat. If you have any questions for the mods, Boss Geekery is here, so you can hit her up, and there'll be other mods in the chat as the stream goes on. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so welcome, Teda. First of all, thank you so much for doing this today. Thanks for
having me.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out and just being down with the code.
Yeah. That should be a t-shirt.
Yes. We should get a shirt to say down for the code. Yes. Hey Hexley, welcome to the stream. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and get started. So for our first question, why don't you go ahead and just tell us about yourself and what got you into gaming?
All right, so I'm Teda Thompson. I guess I'll start from the beginning. I was born in Fort Riley, Kansas. My parents were in the military, so we moved around a lot, but I mostly say that I'm from Washington State because that's the longest place I've lived in. Then I grew up and then joined the military myself. As far as gaming, I really didn't start gaming really early. I guess I just spent a lot of time outside and we just didn't really have games. So I really started gaming when I was 11 or 12, and I got my first Game Boy. Okay. And then it kind of just trickled on from there. Got the DS and then PlayStations, Xboxes and whatnot. So I wasn't heavy into it as a kid. Definitely not as much as I am now.
Okay, nice. So what is your favorite game of all time?
So I had to think about that because for the longest I would say it was Left 4 Dead. But I think thinking back a little bit further, I think I would have to say my favorite game of all time was RuneScape.
RuneScape?
I don't know if you've ever played it, but it was great.
Okay.
There's just so much to do. It was super addicting, which probably wasn't good, but it was a great game.
Okay. I haven't played it. So what is the object of the game? Like, what do you do?
It's an MMO, so it's just a like open world. There's not really any objectives. You basically you had certain quests that you could complete, but for the most part, you were just kind of leveling up your skills and just killing stuff. Like you could just basically make your own world inside that game. You could do whatever you want. You could open up shops. You could make clans, and it just wasn't, there wasn't like a purpose of the game. So I think that's why I enjoyed it so much.
Okay. Open world. I love me a good open world game. Yeah, that's why I love Grand Theft Auto, because you could just run around and do anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So thinking a little bit more about like your childhood with like gaming and everything like that, do you feel like you saw yourself represented in gaming growing up, or like was that important to you as a kid?
I'm trying to think, like at the time, I don't really know if I ever thought about it. Like just sitting here thinking about it. Now that I'm older though, like thinking back, I don't think I really could see myself. You like you said earlier, you didn't really hear about Black women that were, making games, or just women in general that were in the industry. I think I just kind of got it stuck in my mind that it was just a guy thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I guess I kind of let it go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll move on to the next question. So when did you realize you wanted to pursue a career in gaming, and like what brought you to this choice?
So that was a funny one, because this one was like really recent actually. Okay. I didn't even think about going into gaming till like 2017. Yeah, so not that long. Okay. Really shortly before I started going to school. Prior to that, I was in the military, so that took up 5 years of my time, and like after that, I didn't know I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I was just bouncing around from different things, and like going into the gaming industry, actually, it never even crossed my mind. I don't know why. It just never crossed my mind. And then I saw the Full Sail, which is a school that I went to, and I actually blew it off. I blew it off for like a couple years, and kind of just bounced around doing whatever I was doing. I don't know. And then I finally I was like, oh hey, it would be cool to make video games. And like one of my friends was in the school, so I was like, I guess that's the only thing I haven't really tried. Yeah. So that's pretty much how I got there, because I've loved games. And I've enjoyed everything about them, but I guess I never even thought about going into the industry. I guess like earlier, I kind of just deemed it as something for guys, and kind of just left it at that. I don't know why.
Yeah, definitely. I think that makes me think about like my experience as a kid too, because I didn't even know that you could do that. Like I didn't know that could be an option. And I talked about this a little bit before, but it seems like when you think about the gaming industry and like the tech industry, like those types of positions and careers are not marketed towards like Black women and Black girls, like especially like growing up in the 90s and stuff. Like I think now we have like Black Girls Code and everything like that, but there weren't organizations like that, or if there were, they weren't very accessible, I guess. And so like when I was growing up, people as a Black female, they assume that you want to go into like nursing or teaching or something like that, which there's nothing wrong with those careers, but like no one ever asked me, I played games a lot, nobody ever said, hey Brandy, what do you think about, do you know how to code, do you know how to make a game, is that something you'd be interested in? Like no one, they assumed that I wanted to do something else, you know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely. So going off of that, who are some people in the industry that you look up to or that influence you positively?
So I was thinking about that earlier too, and like even when I first started like going to school, I guess I never really had a specific person. I don't know why. I guess I never really thought about it. So I guess mine's more so a group of people.
Okay.
And I mostly like look up and think positively about like indie developers, because those are the guys that don't necessarily have a lot of money, and they're just making games. Like a lot of them are making games like from the heart and like with a lot of passion. So like I really look up to them because they spend a lot of work and a lot of time like making their games, and I just think they have a lot more feeling and passion behind them. Not saying that the bigger companies don't, because I'm sure that they do, but I think it's just after going through this whole process and now wanting to become an indie developer, I just I look up to them like a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I find myself caught up in a lot more indie games nowadays, just because you can tell that it does, like, it's made from the heart, and like the stories, I feel like it seems like a lot of the stories that center like characters of color and just those type of stories that aren't like mainstream, I guess, like you find those being told in the indie games, and they're so good. Like they're so good. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. So what does gaming mean to you as a Black woman?
So gaming to me as a Black woman, it means a lot, being able to influence others and being able to encourage other Black women or even Black young girls to want to go do this stuff. Like I think that's the ultimate pleasure that I've had going into this. Like, making the games are fun and whatnot, but it's a lot more fun being a Black woman doing it, because there's not a lot of Black women doing it. So it's just pretty cool to show other people that, hey, you can do this too, and it's really not that hard. It might be a little scary at first, but it's not that hard. So just being able to do that like really means a lot to me, and then being able to in the near future put more representation into these games, since I will be the designer and developer of it.
Hey. Yeah, hold on, I need a clap for that. I done clicked off the thing. Can I? Thank you, boss. Yay.
I love that.
Yes. All right. So moving on. So tell us about your video game design program. So like, what did you study and what made you choose this program specifically?
So what made me choose the program, going to the school, there were 3 options: game art, game development, and game design. Not an artist, but eventually I ended up choosing that and like switching later. I don't know why I even started with that. But so the other 2 were game development and game design. I first looked at game development just because, you hear of people making games, they're game developers. So I was like, oh, game development. But I was told that it had like a lot of math, and it was just doing a lot more complex things than what I was trying to do. So game design, I guess, fit more what I was trying to do. As far as the program, we basically learned a little bit of everything. So we learned how to code, we learned how to do things within Unity, which is the program that I use, which that pretty much took up the bulk of the degree. It was just spent doing things in Unity. And then a lot of our classes actually were pretty interesting because we spent a lot of time with what they call analog games. So board games, card games, stuff like that. So before we even got to touch any of the Unity in the computers, we were doing board games and card games. So
wow.
So that was pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting that at all. But that was pretty interesting. So I think that's pretty much the bulk of what we learned. Because the way the classes were, we did spend a couple months doing the whole board games and card games. Then we had a couple classes with like English and science, and I think one mythology. But mostly just coding and working in Unity and all that little stuff in between.
Okay. So when you say like board games and card games, did you all like sit and play them?
Yeah. So as exciting as that sounds, we would literally go in there and I kid you not, play like the same games for hours. Like, because the classes, the shortest class that you could have is 4 hours, and the longest class was 8, and that's just for one class. So we had classes where we would literally go in, we would break off into groups, and for that whole like 4 hours, 5 hours, like because we had a lunch break, like literally 4 or 5 hours straight. I kid you not, we were playing board games, or we were playing card games.
Wow.
And at first it was cool, but then once you do it for a while, you're like, okay. And they basically made us play this for hours to analyze them.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool that we got to do that, but you know, it was kind of annoying at the same time. But I also got to play a lot of games that I've never even heard of. So that was really cool. And then we had to make our own card game. So, yeah, we actually like played games.
Wow. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Like, you have to know how the games work, like for you to like build something else, like, or just get your mind in the like habit of analyzing a game and the mechanics of it. Wow, I was not expecting you to say that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So what was that process like when you had to like decide on a program? Was it, I know you said like video game development is more mathematic and versus like design, but were there like other, what was like picking like, okay, Full Sail, this is the one for me?
So basically development, they like create game engines.
Okay.
And they do a lot of coding.
Okay.
And I feel like they can still do stuff that we do as well, but they're a lot more just technical, I guess. And I wasn't really trying to do all that. Whereas like the designers, like we know a little bit of coding, but we also take like things that people give to us. So things like the artists give to us and like design stuff with it. So, you know, like if someone makes us a bridge or something, for example, you know, we would go in there, place the bridge in the world and kind of design it that way. So I was a lot more interested in that than the technical stuff. So I think that's why I went with game design. And they had to break that stuff down with me, which I'm glad that they did. Because I literally had no idea. I didn't know anything about the two. Yeah. So I was just, you know, talk with them for a while, and that's what I went with.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's go on. So, I see there's a question in chat, so I'm taking note of the questions that people are posing, and we'll get to those at the end. But I am taking note of them, and putting them in my little notes so that when we get done with the formal questions, we'll do the chat questions. So thank you. Continue to post them. And shout out to Boss posting them in the color of your name. That's very helpful. Thank you. All right. So let's see. We'll move on to the next question. So what was your experience like working with the people in your cohorts? Because I know like there's probably not many of us in these programs. So, you know, what was your experience like? You know, were you the only Black woman? If not, did you connect with other Black women in the program? And like, how did you all support each other? So let's start there.
So the way our program works, it was a 19-month program, and 1-month classes. So from month 1, so I want to say about, because it feels like it's been so long. I think about month 4 or 5. It was mixed degree programs, so we did have women, and I don't really recall seeing too many Black women, but we at least had women. So that was month like 1, 4, and 5. Now after that, we broke off into nothing but our own degree program. And so from month 4 or 5 up until like 19, I was the only woman, so I was the only Black woman. And like that was it. Yeah, every single class, it would be sometimes our classes were usually pretty small, like maybe no more than 15 at the max, but they would all be guys except for me.
Wow.
And at times where we had to share classrooms, there'd be like 2 classes. So there could be like 30, 40, people in there, and I'm the only girl, like, period.
Oh my God.
It was long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it. So everybody in my group was guys. Everyone in the classroom was guys. All the teachers were guys.
Oh my goodness.
I had one female teacher the entire time.
Wow.
But yeah.
Entire time. So what was that experience like for you?
It was challenging. Cause like, obviously, like, I'm like, we're around a lot of, guys or whatever, just in everyday life and whatnot, and then the military. But I've never just been like around them so much, like I guess even in like a school setting, like where there's just no women at all. Whew. So it's a lot different, like hearing their conversations and like seeing how they act. And a lot of the times it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But there really wasn't much I could do.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get through the program. Like, luckily all the guys that were in my group, like they were really good guys. Like, we had fun and did some good work. But I definitely could see how it could be a little demoralizing.
Yeah.
Just being by yourself like that.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you keep yourself motivated? Like when you had to go in here and, being the only one, the only Black woman, only one female teacher the whole time. Like, how did you keep yourself motivated during those like low moments where you did feel isolated and just kind of like, questioning yourself or anything like that?
I had to really sit and dig deep.
Yeah.
And think that I'm not really trying to do this for me. I'm trying to do this for other Black women and young Black girls that want to do this stuff too. So me, just because I'm having a little difficult time, in school, I've been through worse, I was in the military, and I was like, it wasn't bad enough for me to just quit, and not reach the goal that I was trying to achieve, really. I'm kind of strong-willed when it comes to a lot of things. So unless it's just absolutely gonna like break me, I'll try to power through it. So I had a bigger mission in mind, so I kind of just let it go. And it's not that I forgot about it or it became easier. Like there were times where I've just been so frustrated.
Yeah.
I just was like, I gotta keep going, like.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Gotta keep going. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. So were there any like, did you feel like supported by your professors, like being the only Black woman?
Yeah. So that, I never had any issues. Obviously all the instructors, they were males, but like I said, I've never had any issues. I could always go up to get help. They would listen to my ideas. They would legit, try to help me and break down my ideas and not like overthrow their own or what have you. So I never really felt any type of way. And I think it was because like a lot of those people, if not, like all of them, like going to that school, they're just there for their love of video games. So I know that they are males and they are like white males, but it didn't seem like all of them like really cared about color.
Okay.
They were just there, like they just love video games. So they didn't care if you were a guy, if you were a girl, Black, white, whatever.
Yeah.
If you wanted to talk about video games, they would talk about video games. So I never had that problem.
Good. That's good. It's good that they were like supportive of you.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the stream, boo. Come on in. All right, so we'll move on to the next question. So, how have your interactions in like gaming spaces affected you and your decision to pursue a career in gaming?
Let me see. I'm trying to think how to.
Because I know, like for some people, like being a Black woman and like in gaming spaces where you do feel isolated and you do feel alone, and kind of a lot of us have experienced like racism, sexism, microaggressions, all type of things. And then some of us, have really good experiences in the gaming community, but thinking about your experiences specifically, like have they had any influence on your decision to pursue this career?
So pretty much basically like what you said, the racism, the sexism, all of the isms you can think of in gaming environments, they've definitely had a huge impact, because coming into this, or I guess coming out of this rather, I definitely want to make a space that has more of us, for one.
Yeah.
And just a little less toxic.
Yeah.
than what a lot of these communities provide.
Yeah.
And also something that can keep people engaged and like still have fun. But I think those interactions, those negative interactions, I've had some great ones too. And those ones also encouraged me to like, keep going forward. But the negative ones encourage me just as much, if not more, to, fix, the problems that we have going on.
Okay, awesome. So what are some of your career goals and things you want to do in the field?
So,
yay!
When I first started, I thought that I was gonna want to graduate and like work for like a big studio, like Bungie, Bethesda, Activision, EA, like all of them. And like as I got on later in the program, I was like, nah, I don't think I really want to do that. You don't really hear good things about them, and I just wasn't, trying to do all that. So I started veering more towards indie work, even though a lot of people discouraged it.
Yeah.
But my plan as far as doing all this is just kind of create my own games. Like I want to start by creating my own game, and I also don't mind working in small teams. So once I can get a little bit more practiced or something published, from my portfolio, start working with small teams, hopefully of other Black developers, or even females, too. So just kind of, that's why I kind of wanted to do the indie work, so I can kind of like bounce around and meet more people and bring more people in to this, especially Black women, because we're not here.
Yeah.
So
yes,
that's pretty much what I'm trying to do. Just jump into the indie world.
Okay, nice. Hey, Dopamine B, what's up, Glenn? Everybody, so Dopamine B, she is the co-creator for Brown Girl Gamer Code. That's my very, very best friend. We've been BFFs since we was 11 years old. We started playing The Sims together like years ago, and so me and her, we was like talking one day, and that is how BGGC got created. Welcome, Glenn. Oh, it's okay. Yes. Okay, so we got another question in chat. Okay, Kenya, I'm putting your question down right now. Type that.
I'll get straight to it.
All right, I got your question, Kenya. So just real quick, y'all, if you're not hosting the stream, please host BGGC. You can go to your chat and do /host, or if you're on mobile, there's a little icon at the top. Click it. Yes, thank you for that, host. Yes, because we want everybody to see this is important information. And we trying to get ourselves out. Thank you for the host, sir. I know the alerts might be a little loud. Let me know if they need to be turned down. But yes. All right, so we'll continue on.
Perfect.
Hey, thank you for that, host. Yes, host the stream. All right, so I know that you just graduated from your game design program. Aw, thank you, Jordan. Oh, my, are you on Jordan? My mom and my brother, they on the same page.
Uh-huh.
He had to show you how. Oh God. Oh, mine. You're supposed to be on your page. So silly. um. Just go to your own, go to like Jordan's own page and do /host and then a space and type Brown Girl Gamer Code in the chat, in your own chat, and then you can come back to the stream. Thank you for the host, M. All right, so like I said, I know you graduated from your program. What has your experience been like so far in terms of like getting into the field and like job searching?
So I graduated a week ago. Mm-hmm. So honestly, like since that week, I've pretty much done absolutely nothing.
Look, take some time and breathe.
Yeah, I took a week off. Like I was tired. It was long. But as far as like job searching, so right now, since I do have like other forms of income, I'm trying to just start with my own project. Okay. So I actually haven't even looked, into working with anybody yet. And I was trying to get my own thing like released, and then probably start either making another one depending on how well that one went. Yeah. Or starting to reach out like with small groups of people, like other freelancers. Yeah. That are trying to do this stuff as well. And then I guess long term, if I could even make a studio, that would be pretty cool.
Yes.
But really like looking at other studios right now hasn't really been the highest priority on my list because I'm just trying to do my own. So that's pretty much where that is right now.
Nice. Okay, good. Yes, own project. And listen, relax, take some time. When you said 19-month program and you was only Black woman, listen. I know you tired.
That week was not long enough.
Right. Look. I know you tired. So moving forward a little bit, why do you think it's important for Black women to pursue careers in gaming?
So I think it's important because, like, we as Black women, we're told what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. Mm-hmm. More so what we shouldn't be doing, I guess. Mm-hmm. And we as Black women, we also play a lot of video games. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if we're, able to play these things, then we're able to create these things. Mm-hmm. And there should really be no reason, for us to not jump into this industry. Mm-hmm. And I know it comes with a lot of pressure from Black women's like families or significant others and whatnot. So what makes them not want to like jump into this stuff, or just the fear of like being alone. Mm-hmm. But I think it's so important for Black women to try to get into this so we can show people that, we're more than just what they think we are. We can make games, we can, talk on panels or, be up there with E3, at E3.
Yes.
So it's like, we can just do it. Like I have
just
so we can get our faces out there, show that we can do other things.
Yes. All for it. Yes. Can I get a clap for that? Yes. Yes. Right. Period. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Yes. We need to be up there at E3.
I believe it.
Yes. So kind of expanding on that question a little bit more, what kind of representation of Black women in gaming would you like to see? So specific characters or in certain types of games, or, what kind of representation do you want to see or do you hope to see?
So I guess the obvious one, I would love to see, as many Black female characters as we can. Mm-hmm. Recently, we've seen a lot of games that are adding more Black female characters. So I will give at least those ones that. So it looks like we're slowly getting in there. Mm-hmm. But I would also like to see more Black game developers, designers, artists. Like, I know that they're out there, but I guess more so working together and not being afraid of what other people are going to say to actually get together and complete a project. Because it's definitely different if you're a Black designer, developer, or artist and whatnot, but you're not really doing anything with it. And I feel like it's a lot different when you actually get together, you push out a project and people can see it. So they can actually see that there's other, people of color like in this. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. So let's talk a little bit about your game design, like the games that you created, because I know I think last year I got a chance to play that first game that you were working on with your group, and that was like really fun. And so we're gonna jump into the other game today. But so why don't you tell us what are the like first steps that you have to take to like create your first game?
Yes, that's kind of funny because I haven't even thought about my first game that I made like until today. So the first steps, like very first steps, like you need to figure out it depends on how you want to do it. Like you need to figure out what type of game that you want to create, and then you also need to figure out what type of mechanics you want in that game. But a lot goes into that, figuring out what type of game that you want to create than people think. It's that process can take an extremely long time because the ideas that you might throw out there, they might not work, or your group might not like it, or you just might not have enough time to complete it. So that's like the first step. So figure out what you want to make, and figure out the mechanics that you want to put in it. What was the other part of the question?
Oh, really? That was the first part. Yep. What is it?
I thought I missed something.
No, you can. Yep. Just what like the first steps you had to take to create your game. And so do you remember like the first game you created?
So I do. We made a lot of little things like starting when we started out, but the first game that we made with the group was a game called Hazard Fall. I don't know if that's the one that you played, but I don't know. It was a really weird game. So basically, we made it so you would have like these poisonous balls that would fall off the sky, and if they hit you, you would take damage, and if they hit the ground, it would make the ground disappear. And it was just this 2D like platformer.
I think that's the one I played.
It might have been played.
Yeah.
2D platformer thing, so you just went back and forth, and it would hearts would fall off the sky and coins would fall off the sky. And the purpose of the game was to just get as high score as possible without dying or the whole floor collapsing. And it was really weird because like our character was a tank. Our tank jumped for whatever reason. The tank could jump. I don't know why. And it was a little raggedy. But that was the first one that we had did, and we were just a team of 3, if I'm not mistaken. So we only had a month to make it too. So I think it went pretty well for the time that we had and not, creating anything before. But that was the first game that we did, and it was called Hazard Fall.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the most recent game you made for your final project. So, well, just tell us a little bit about it and like what were the fun parts of making it?
Oh boy, so that one, I'm actually really proud of my team and stuff for that one. Just thinking about Hazard Fall, like where we came with Hazard Fall and moving to that. But that one was a long one. So we started with a team of 7, and then we went down to 5, and then eventually we ended with 3, which is a lot of work.
Yeah.
So when you go from 7, because we have to pick up the other people's slack. So with that game, I know you're gonna like see it later and whatnot, but with that game, we actually started like our first vision was like making a game like Left 4 Dead, which obviously that game is nothing like. And so we started, thinking about making a game like Left 4 Dead, and we were like, okay, that's not gonna work. Well, the instructors really had to tell us like, that's not gonna work. You're not gonna have enough time to do all that. And then eventually, after going back and forth for a couple days, we didn't even have our game idea for a couple days. So it took a while. We only had, we would have like 4 months to make it, but we had like milestones due every 2 weeks, so we didn't have a lot of time. So couple days to decide the game idea, like took away a lot of like time. So then we started making the game like a wave-based shooter, like Black Ops Zombies, you know, wave after wave. And then we ended up losing all those people, and then we scaled it down like a lot. Like one of the instructors had to have us get a reference game because we didn't know what we were doing. So we kind of started to mimic Enter the Gungeon. So that's what our game kind of represents there. But so that was the process of like coming up with the game. Now the fun parts of the game was fun and frustrating. Coming up with like, what are we gonna do? Like,
yeah.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna shoot? What are we gonna shoot with? Who are we gonna shoot? So that was a lot of fun because we experimented with a lot of things that we ended up throwing away or didn't, you know, even use or didn't make it into the game rather. Like we had a companion, you know, we talked about a shop, we had kill streaks, we talked about like speed boosts, like just a bunch of stuff that we actually worked on and ended up just throwing it away because it wasn't like it wasn't gonna fit or we're gonna have time. So that was a process. Like I think that was the most fun with making this last game that we made, just being able to simulate like creating a game for one, because this was the longest time that we've had to create a game. All the other games you had a month, and this one was for our final project, so we had 4. So we actually got to simulate, you know, working, you know, with the same people and making a game. So I thought that was, you know, like a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah. So for those of you in chat, we will be playing this game after the interview, so you all can see the final product. I got to play it last night, and it was fun. It is definitely fun. It's lit. All right, so let's talk a little bit about coding. So, what is your experience with coding, or like what was your experience with coding, and like are there programs that you would recommend for beginners?
So prior to school, and I started in 2018. So prior to 2018, I had 0 experience with coding. I probably barely even heard of it, to be honest with you. I never looked at it, never, you know, just thought anything about it. So I went into this knowing nothing. Coming out of it, I definitely know a lot more than what I did going in, but it was very challenging because it's a second language, or it's another language. So it's just another language that you have to learn. And as far as like programs, I haven't really used many additional programs, I guess, because like we were taught like a lot of our coding stuff in school, and actually with Unity, the program that I make my games with, they have like documentation, and it kind of puts everything into the documentation.
Yeah.
So I know they do have programs out there. I just don't have any experience with any.
Okay.
But like the documentation was really good, but it wasn't like hard to learn or anything.
Okay.
It just takes like a lot of practice.
Okay. But it's pretty, like you can grasp it, like you can get it, like you just have to practice.
Yeah, and then once you do it for a little bit and you start looking at pieces of code, and thinking about it logically, like it'll make sense. Like to get a ball to bounce, for example, it sounds a lot different like in code, but when you read it and you just think about it logically and you think about what you learned, you're like, oh, okay, that actually makes sense. Like they just break it down in the most logical way you can possibly think of. But it's definitely something that I think, you know, a beginner or even someone that's never touched code like me.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. It's so funny you mentioned that because I just started learning myself, and the engine that I'm building a 2D game in is in Unity. I really like it. Yeah, I really like Unity. Like it's pretty simple. Like I like it. Like I can't believe that I'm actually like doing something. I like it. So I'm glad that you mentioned Unity, because I would say that that's a pretty good engine to like start with.
Yeah, I agree.
So what would you say has been the most challenging thing about video game design for you?
Oh boy, a lot. So I think the first thing is when you're coming into this stuff, you have to think as a designer and not as a player, because players and designers think like totally different ways. And that was a lot of the problem that like a lot of us had, because we were always, we're used to playing these, but we're not used to making these. So definitely thinking as a designer, like thinking of things more technical, and using like proper terms and proper measurements and all this stuff, because it's not as easy as people think. So I think that was definitely one of the biggest hurdles. And then coding, honestly, like I'm still not anywhere near where I probably want to be with coding, but I think that was definitely one of the most challenging parts. But if you just practice, I don't think I put in as much time with it as I probably should have. But if you do, it'll definitely make your life a lot
easier. Okay. What would you say has been the most rewarding thing about video game design?
So the most rewarding thing, honestly, is finishing something and having people play it.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, because you could see like all of your hard work and people reacting to something that you made, them not knowing that it took you like 600 hours like to make that game like in a month. So I mean, it's like it's really rewarding seeing, and then everything about the game from a designer's standpoint. So I think that's definitely the most rewarding. And even if you don't make it to get it to where someone's playing your game yet, just putting anything together, playing it yourself, like I think that's definitely one of the most rewarding.
Nice. Okay, thank you. All right, so we're coming up on our last couple of questions, and then we'll jump into the Q&A. But what advice would you give to other Black women if they're interested in pursuing a degree or a career in gaming?
So my advice, if other Black women wants to do this, just do it. I know it's easier said than done, but don't let anybody tell you that you can't, that you shouldn't, or that you're not going to get anything out of it, or you're not going to go anywhere. None of that, like none of that negative stuff. Like if you really want to do it, just do it. And you'll feel so much more like rewarded when the process is done. Because like not a lot of Black women are doing this kind of stuff. So I think that's awesome. It might be a little difficult, but you just gotta power through it and just kind of see the impact that you're gonna make like when you're all said and done with this.
Okay. So this is more so of a fun question. What games are you currently into now, or what are you playing?
Oh man, so I hate to admit it, but I have an addiction to Apex. Even though I hate the game. It makes me so angry. I don't even know why I still play it, but I play a lot of Apex. I'm also finishing the Gears of War 5 campaign because I love Gears and I haven't finished it yet. And that's pretty much the only two right now because Apex pretty much consumes my life.
Okay.
And until Call of Duty comes out in a couple weeks.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
So pretty much those two right now.
Okay. All right. So for our last question, is there anything else that you'd like us to know that you want to share?
Honestly, I can't think of anything. I feel like you covered like a lot of the stuff. I guess just like I said before, like just anybody that wants to do this kind of stuff, like just do it.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. And like, especially being able to find this type of school and seeing like the type of people that were in the school that might have felt like they didn't have a place in the world, whether it be art, gaming, recording arts, like we had a lot of music people and stuff like that. Like there's schools and there's places out there for you with other people that love the same things that you do. You don't have to put your passion aside just because someone's telling you that you can't.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yes. All right. So, we have wrapped up our formal questions. Thank you, T. What up, Leek? Welcome to the stream, fam. How you doing? Leek dough. All right, so Ma, you so hype in the chat.
Oh. I love it. That's great.
So we'll now take questions from the chat. So if you didn't get a chance to post your questions, please go ahead and post them now. But we'll start with what was posted. So the first question someone asked is, did you start out with coding knowledge? So did you start off with coding knowledge, and if so, what languages? So I know you said that before 2018 you didn't, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So I guess that kind of answers that question. I don't know if you want to reiterate that.
I guess before 2018 I didn't, but when we started in school, they taught us C#. So that's what I've been learning. That's the only language that I know right now, and that's pretty much the language that's heavy in Unity.
Yeah.
So C#.
Yep, that's what I'm learning too.
Yeah.
For our next question, what type of games do you want to make? So I know you talked about indie games, but are there like even more, I guess, a little more detail about what kind of games you want to make?
So I really like shooters, whether it be a first-person shooter or a third-person shooter. Like I really enjoy those type of games. So my dream game would be to make something like that.
Okay.
And I didn't really get to make those type of games in school, but I did get exposed to a lot of other types of games.
Okay.
So I think my first game I'm looking to, if it's not able to be a shooter, more of like a platformer of some sort, like something like a little bit easier, kind of like Mario type style. Something that's just kind of easy to make. But if I could, I would really like to make like first person, third person shooters.
Okay. Nice. And then for our next question, and then boss, I see your question. I'm gonna get to yours after this next one. How stressful was it for you to create your recent game, and what would you do differently?
Oh man, how stressful. That is not even, I don't even know if there's anything that can even measure how stressful. Very stressful. Like the way we had it, we had 2-week milestones. So we had a bunch of stuff that we had to get done off of a task list in 2 weeks, and then we were going to be graded. They would play our game in person and give you live feedback in person, like about your game. So it was very stressful. Very sleepless nights. At one point, we were required to have an hour log, and we were required to each person on the team put in 40 hours a week on the game, and that was just to get a B. So you had to do 50 hours a week on the game to get an A.
Oh my goodness.
Not a lot of people really did that, but
yeah,
that's what you had to do. So it was like, it was super stressful. I'm so glad. That's why when school got over, like I took that break. I was done.
Yeah, I see.
I was done.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, for our next question, do you have a favorite indie game currently?
Favorite indie game currently. So funny story about that is I actually didn't really play a lot of indie games. I actually played a lot of AAA games because I thought, those were the ones that were in. I've actually recently started getting into more indie games, like, as I finish school. But even currently, I guess I don't even play a lot. But I guess the one that I play a little bit more frequently would be like Stardew Valley.
Okay.
I know that's an indie game. I really like that type of game because I like games like Animal Crossing and stuff.
Yeah.
So as far as like indie games right now, like Stardew Valley type stuff.
Okay.
And I really want to try Celeste because I've heard really good things about that.
Yeah.
But I actually need to work on playing more indie games, since I'm trying to be an indie game developer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next question: Will you be creating games for PC or console?
That's a good question. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I think my first game I was gonna try to release was probably gonna be on mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how easy it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, if I absolutely could, I would love it on console because I play on console. But I'm not really biased to which, to any platform. So if I can release it on all of them, I'll release it on all of them. That's what I mean. Yeah. I guess I never really thought about it.
Okay.
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next question: What kind of gaming engines are out there currently besides Unity that are good to use as a beginner? And are there any pros and cons to those?
So from what I've researched, because they teach us Unity, as a beginner, I think other things there's RPG Maker.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's one called Game Maker.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a couple more too, but I'm not too familiar with them just because they made us use Unity.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also Unreal, but that's not very user friendly at all. unless you don't like to code. They have visual scripting, visual coding that you can do. But besides Game Maker, RPG Maker, I don't really know too many other ones.
You said visual coding?
Yeah, they have regular coding, you're actually typing things out. But in the visual coding, one of those statements could be a little, a little node, a little square. And you can just, put it on the map and draw a line.
Yeah.
And put other squares. So you don't have to type it out yourself, but you have to know what it means and still what kind of order to put those things in. So yeah.
Yeah. So boss, you mentioned Dreamweaver. I use Dreamweaver to edit someone's website once. And now I remember. Yeah, I remember that. So okay, now that makes sense of what the visual is. I think I'd rather have the typing out of it than the visual one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Leak, you can just post your question in chat. Yep. If you all have any other questions, feel free to post them. That's really what we're doing now since we're done with the formal interview part. So we're just doing a soft little Q&A before we jump into the actual game that Teda got to make. But yeah, so I didn't even realize that there was. I feel like I've seen visual coding. I don't know if this is the same thing, but do you know if you use Microsoft Word and it's a outdated version and you try to open something and it's just a bunch of symbols? Is that, I don't know if that's kind of the same.
I know what you're talking. I think no, it's more I don't know what other types of visual coding, because I've only seen the ones in Unreal. I don't know if I use the one in Unity, but I don't even know how to explain it. It's I guess you would have to Google it. If you were to Google Unreal Engine blueprints, you would be able to see what it looks like. You just have some squares that have some text on it.
Yeah.
And you just can draw a line. At the end of the day, it'll look like a big flow chart.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah. So I didn't do very good in it, but for some people it's a lot easier.
Yeah. All right, so we have another question in chat. What kind of effort does it take to get your game developed across multiple platforms? That's a good question.
So I haven't looked into doing it on anything other than mobile and PC right about now, because I felt like that was my scope, what I was able to get on right now. But from what I've been researching, it's not too difficult for either. You just have to just do it. And I, from what I've seen, because I've watched a lot of people's dev vlogs on YouTube and stuff, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. It'll list everything out for you. and depending on your engine, like I know Unity has a good, like it's pretty helpful when it comes to pushing your stuff out to different platforms. So like that part, from what I've seen, hasn't really been too difficult.
So do you have to, like, when your game is ready and you're ready, do you have to like pitch it to the platform? Do you have to like submit something to, like, if I created a game and I want to put it on PC, who am I sending that to?
Now that I don't know if you have to necessarily pitch it, or if you can just like upload it, because I know like Steam, for example, is where everyone puts their games.
Right.
So I don't know if you have to go through like an approval process.
Okay.
I've seen some raunchy games on Steam, so I don't know if there is one. But maybe there is. And then like itch.io, like you could just put your games on there. So I don't know if you necessarily have to like get it approved. Maybe like I think for like Google and stuff, they have some sort of approval process, because one of the dev guys that I was watching did run into an issue. But I think that's pretty much it. Like you just go to whatever platform you're trying to put it on and go from there.
Nice. Yeah, that's the part that I would like to like research a little bit more about. Like, would, you know, if I'd made a game for console or like PlayStation, am I emailing PlayStation like, hey, here you go, let's slide this on in here real quick, and you
I don't.
You know what I mean?
That's
like, what is that? What does he even do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you all have any other questions, you can feel free to continue to put them in the chat. At this time, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the game so we can get to it and
sweet
and play. So how this will work? I'm gonna open it up. Tita, you'll probably still be able to hear me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's see.
I'm gonna leave the Google Hangout still up here, and then I'm just going to open up the game real quick. Pause the music. All right, Tita, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, awesome. All right, so this is the game. It's called Attack. So we're just gonna play. Tita, I don't know if you can probably see the stream while I'm playing it.
Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
If you want to, like, just, I don't know, throw any comments out there, anything like that, feel free to do that. So these are the controls. So it uses similar like WASD to move, which is helpful for me because I do play some PC games. And then you know the combination between WASD and like the mouse to shoot and everything like that, and interacting with like the doors and the grenades and all of that. And I also have a debug menu that you can look at. All right. I don't know if it's gonna push me through the tutorial again. Okay, yes. All right, here we go. So this is our little character right here.
Yeah, so as you can see, he's currently running in place. So that's one of the things that we never got to finish. But something funny to look at. Yeah, so those little robots and the character and the hearts, those were actually done by game art students.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so we were able to link up with them because we just had capsules and squares. So they made all that stuff for us.
So these are shields, correct? I can just walk in?
Yeah, so those are shields. When you walk in there, it'll drop a heart. If your health isn't full, then you'll pick up the heart. And that little red thing is a timer to say when it's gonna go away.
Alright, so we picked up some new weapons. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, and one of the guys on my team, he actually made this level.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and another guy made the last two. So I didn't make any levels. I just kind of worked on stuff in the levels, but they made these two levels.
Nice. Uh-oh. Oh, I love that noise. It's so funny. They be coming at you. You gotta think quick.
Yeah, it was funny. They actually used to move a lot faster and they did a lot more damage, but that wasn't working. So people couldn't even make it past the tutorials. We had to scale that back.
Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. I love that y'all give more than enough heart, like health. That's very helpful because I'd be about to die.
Yeah, I think at first we had too many. We had like every enemy dropping either a health or a grenade. So it was like too many. So we actually scaled it back. But this seemed like it was a good balance of of drops.
Whoop. The TNT is really cool. Ooh, I walked into the TNT. I walked into the TNT. All right, so we made it through the tutorial. Oh shoot!
Yeah, that TNT used to one-hit kill you until we turned that back.
Oh really? You giant lobster dudes, leave me alone.
Oh, they look like lobsters. They're supposed to be robots.
You said they're supposed to be what?
Robots. I guess they do look like lobsters.
Yeah, they look like lobsters.
That's funny.
Whoa!
That's too funny.
Yeah.
So one guy on our team, he actually came up with all the enemies. He just pretty much did the enemies. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, he came up with all of those on his own.
Give me as much grenades as possible. I'm about to walk into the TNT.
We're actually like the first person to really play this that wasn't like going to school with us, or yeah, like that, like going to school for like games and stuff.
Oh, the little noises is so funny to me.
Oh, in the chat, he said, who made the music for your attack game? We actually, one of the guys in the group, Joe, he actually just went like on a free website that gave like free music and just found it and put it in the game. That's what basically all the music, all the sounds, like they on the free website.
I love it. Woo, y'all leave me alone.
Yeah, and those shields, they'll actually kill. Yeah, they'll
Oh,
actually
good. Oh, these shields are clutch.
Yeah, they might be a little.
These shields are clutch. Yeah, they wiped out everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my god, good, because I was about to die.
So the different enemies that we have, those little red ones, they shoot out those red things.
Yeah.
The ones in the back that are kind of like yellowish.
Yeah.
They actually shoot out. We'll put out a smaller enemy coming from its chest. Oh.
I died.
Yeah.
This is fun, yo. Hey. Ain't the music fire? Yes.
Yeah, the noises were great.
Yes, it's so funny.
Oh, did you ever? I didn't even notice. did you ever get to use any of the weapons yet? Did you use your scroll wheel?
Oh, how do I do that? Oh, yeah, I did it. Oh, shoot.
I just thought about that. Yeah, so we have 5 different weapons. We have a shotgun, a sniper, a flamethrower, a machine gun, and
where the flamethrower at?
Yeah, the flamethrower is pretty cool.
There's another weapon. Oh shit!
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the machine gun.
I don't know where I'm gonna go, but they're gonna start coming real quick. I think it's this next level. Yeah, they about to start coming up in here.
Yeah, so we actually changed that too. At first, they were just all in the game, and we changed it so they spawn in at certain points instead of, because when they were all in it, they would just come attack you and just throw you right away.
Yes. Okay, so. Kenya's daughter asked, how did y'all get the sound effects? You said you got them from YouTube, right?
No, I actually got them, there's a website called soundbible.com.
Soundbible?
Yeah, soundbible.com, and I'm pretty sure there's some other ones, but that's pretty much the one that I used. And you can just download the clips and just put them in your code and get them in your game.
Okay, so soundbible.com.
Yeah, that's just one website, but you can Google like any, like free effects, sound clips. There's a bunch of them. And then there is a site where you can actually like make your own custom stuff.
Oh, nice.
Can't remember what that one was called. I don't even know. Oh, what is this? I don't even know what that one was called. I don't think that I just don't have that. But I pretty much just use Soundbible.
Soundbible, okay. Ooh. We done leveled up. Oh shoot, that must be the sniper. Oh, oh shoot, I forgot these were spikes. Oh hell.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! I need to be careful!
Oh yeah, those blue guys, they'll run up to you and explode. So that's why they just run up to you.
Oh, I need to stay away from them.
And those guys are supposed to be snipers, and they might be really bugging right now, but...
Okay, let me get some health. Let me get some help, cause.
So on the screen, I pretty much worked on I did the aiming reticle, which took a lot of time, probably a lot more time than it should have. I did all the UI things, so like your shock ready, your pistol ammo, and like your grenades and stuff.
Okay.
That took a lot of time. A lot of these things take a lot more time than people would think. Help with some of the weapons. So pretty much just dabbled like in a bunch of like, good stuff. I made the shields.
Oh, you made the shield? Look, them shields are clutch. Okay?
I didn't make the material for the shields though. Those were already in the project from someone else. But I actually made the shield a shield.
Shields are clutch.
And those tables, if you flip those tables, they can provide cover.
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't glue myself up. Now I'm low health. My fault. Oh, shit. Okay, I can't fight y'all. I need some help. Oh, shit.
about to bleed out.
Oh my God, they be coming, boy. You had no time. They be coming for you. You gotta be quick on your feet. Oh, that was close. Okay, I'm full on health and full on mate. Okay. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! The sound effects are so good.
And yeah, you should have heard some of the ones we had before that we had to take out.
Uh-oh.
When you threw the grenade, I think it would make a sheep sound, and then when it exploded, it would move like a cow.
It would move like a cow?
Yeah, it would move like a cow. The enemies would make a fart noise when they died.
You said a fart noise?
Yeah, we had so many sound effects. We had to get rid of so many sound effects.
Oh, this is a flamethrower!
Yeah, that thing's pretty cool. I think that's my favorite. Too. A lot of people forget about that.
You said what?
You're shocked when you push Q.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, we changed it so like we put shock ready blinking in the top left.
Yeah.
When people play it, I don't think that was enough.
I forgot about that. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna my shock. That's real helpful when they get up on you.
Yeah, so that's one of the things we struggled with, like how to make people not forget their shock.
Yeah.
And I guess we just didn't have time to do more to it.
Oh shit. Bruh, go! I'm in my face! Oh shit. Oh. Lobsters be coming!
I know everyone always like dies.
Yeah, like I'm up here making it.
Yeah.
Oh, let me stop before I jinx myself. Get some help. Thank you for the follow, Kyvonia. Welcome to the stream. I love that name. Oh shit. Whoa! They're coming! Leave me alone. I'm ignoring y'all. Y'all go away.
Oh, you made it.
Oh my god, what is this?
So that is our fancy boss level.
Oh my god. Okay. Let's see where it go. Oh shit! I can't go back out. Oh no. Okay, we gotta get behind the barrier. Oh shoot! I'm up here throwing grenades. I need more nades.
Yeah, a lot of problem we were having with the boss. Like it was kind of hard to see on screen.
Oh yeah.
So we never got around to fixing that. But there's a lot of times you can't see him.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh shit. I might have to pull out something else.
Yeah, that little pistol's not gonna help you much.
No, not at all. Oh god, hold on, I need to get some more health. Oh my god, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, y'all.
You gotta make it.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, there was some nades. Okay. Okay, let me try to throw a grenade. Where you at? I don't even know where it's at.
I know, it's so hard.
And I keep throwing the... Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. Okay, help. Oh Lord. This thing is serious. Okay, I need my machine gun. Okay. How do I know the health of the boss? Do it just explode?
Yeah, so that was one thing we never got to add either, was a health bar.
Cause I'm like, is it almost dead? Is there hope for me?
Yeah, we never got to add that. He had like 700 health, I think.
Oh god.
That was definitely one of the feedbacks, and we just never got to add it.
Okay, I need more health. Oh shit, I'm about to die.
So you gotta just stay alive.
Yeah. Is there any more health? Do the health packs reload?
No.
Oh shit. It's the end, y'all. I'm sorry. It's the end. It's the end. It's the end.
Oh, no.
Yep, get over. Oh my god.
You don't know. You know the tactics now. I have faith.
Oh, good. Okay, at least I get to restart the ball. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. No, you don't have to restart like the whole. No.
Oh, good. I was about to say, girl. Okay. Okay, where is it? Oh shit. Oh, I got my shock. Where my shock at? Okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Okay, okay, okay. We did something.
Sophia, your machine gun.
Oh, right, right. Wait, where the machine gun at? Oh, up here. Oh, shoot, I'm shooting at the wall. Oh!
Oh, no. You were so close.
Oh, God.
You got too hype with that machine gun.
I got too hyped. I know. I bust up. I was bossed up. Damn it! I wasted a nade. Okay, where you go? Oh shit! Oh, I gotta get the machine gun. Hold on. Hold on, I need some more health. Oh, shit.
You just got blast them.
Oh, shit. It's coming. Okay, I need some health. Hold on, gotta back up. Retreat, retreat. Retreat, abort, abort. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna want to use that machine gun because that pistol's gonna be
I thought I was using the
no, that pistol's gonna be kind of hard.
Shit. No, leave me alone. Oh God, this ain't looking good. This ain't looking good. I gotta use cover. Okay, where is he? Oh. Okay, where he go? Oh shit. Oh no!
No. There should be. I think there's some more health in the back. I think.
Okay. Okay. I know what I'm doing now. Okay.
Looking like a pro with that machine gun.
Okay. Get a little health. Yes. Oh shit! I didn't realize my health was low. Oh. Oh shit! Hold on. I gotta retreat. I need getting more health. Oh, let me. Okay, there we go. There we go. This thing ain't no joke. This is a boss.
We turned him down a bit.
Oh my god.
That's the funny part.
Oh, he was worse than this?
Yeah, he was way worse than that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Oh. Oh. I need help. Oh shit. Oh, thank God for this shield. Oh no.
Oh no.
Did you put that follow, Zia? Welcome to the stream. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna get it this time.
I believe in you.
We're gonna get it this time. Some nades. I don't know if that got him or not. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta get where the machine gun at? Okay. Oh, see, I am not stealthy at these games. I am very much an in-your-face person, and I need to be stealthy.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Enter the Gungeon is. Like, you're just getting plowed by bullets and you have to dodge and shoot.
Yeah. I gotta... Okay, I'm gonna wait. Wait till it come back. He gonna come back down here somewhere. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take my time with this one. Yeah, I'm not good at stealth. Yep. We're gonna have to just wait here. And wait till he come back. Get a couple shots in. Yep, get a couple shots in. And oh, it's on to me. Oh no, you don't. Okay, hold on. Where is it?
Oh, if you want to reload before it automatically does, you can push R.
Okay, cool. Right, Assassin's Creed, right? I just killed everybody in the mission. Thank you for the follow, Spawn Blaze. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Brown Girl Gamer Code. Woo! This is a boss fight. Oh my god, I need some health. Oh Jesus.
Oh, he's onto your plan.
Oh. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh no.
Did you use all the health at the bottom?
I think. Let me go back to the bottom and see. I think I used it all. Oh no. I think I used it.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh my god. I have no help.
You can wait for it right there in your same spot.
Right. Okay, hold on. Let me see if it's some up here. Maybe I missed some up here. I did. Oh, I said something. I found some. I found a little smith.
Oh yeah, that must be
Oh no, it's not the right Yo. My god. Okay, one more time. One more time. I might have to take one for the team.
You just gotta camp with that machine gun.
Yeah, I gotta camp with the machine gun. That's how you yeah. Let me get the machine gun. Let me be smart about this and not use up all the health at once. Alright, where is it? Okay, it's been opened up. Oh! Wasting nades! Okay. I'm gonna wait till it come back up here and I'm gonna throw another nade. Okay, there we go. A little bit of progress. Okay. Yep, and I'm gonna just have to reload. Okay, okay. Got a plan here. There's some more nades at the bottom. We about to light his ass up. we gonna empty the clip. Empty the clip. Get some health. I thought I reloaded. Okay. Nah, don't be trying to be sneaky. Changing it up. Okay, hold on. I need some nades. I need more nades. Did I use all my nades? I thought I had more nades. Okay, where is it? Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. Where Where is it? Okay, he up there. Oh shit. Need help. Okay, I gotta stay. Fuck. Oh shit.
Oh no. I think you still got one heart. Yeah, you got that one.
Where is it? Oh my god. This thing will not die. It won't die. It won't die. Where is it? Oh, another health.
Hey.
I still died. Oh, I'm about to die. Oh,
we did it! Yay!
Yay! We did it.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my god! Yes! My god! Oh my god! Thank you! Oh my god! Y'all, that was stressful. Oh my god, that was so stressful. That was so fun though.
That's great.
Oh my gosh, that was fun. That was so fun.
I enjoyed watching you play that.
Yes. Hey. Hey. All right. Well, we're coming at the end of our session. You don't know what it was. Well, it was perfect timing, boss. It was perfect timing. But thank you so much, Teda, for coming out today and allowing us to get to know you more and talk about your experience. We really, really, really appreciate you. We're proud of you. We really, really, really are. Like, you are out here doing it and making strides, and this is really what it's about. So yeah, just really appreciate everything. Thank you for being involved in BGGC, and continuing to support us and like our movement, and just being a part of the community and being a positive force in the community. It's amazing what you're doing. Keep it up. If you need any support from us, make sure y'all go follow Teda. She has switched to Mixer, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But you can still follow her Twitch page. And her name on Mixer is also the same, Queen Bo Rain. All of her social media, Twitter, Instagram, Queen Bo Rain. So make sure you check her out. She's out here doing it. So in a couple years, when y'all see her do at E3 or at all the cons talking about the work she's doing, remember that we were the first to speak with her. But yes, make sure you all check her out, and also continue to support Brown Girl Gamer Code. We really appreciate all of the support. Thank y'all for coming out and being here with us. If you're not following, go ahead and follow us. Check us out on Twitch. Thank you for that club. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on Instagram. We have a Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter. Check us out on all of those things. Check out our website, browngirlgamercode.com. You can check that out as well. We will be doing more of these. This is an official Brown Girl Gamer Code initiative. We will be doing the next one probably in January, so be on the lookout for that and who our next guest is. But yeah, thank y'all for coming out. Teda, it's been great. Do you have anything else that you want to share before you leave?
I was just gonna say thank you very much for having me. It was awesome. I really I appreciate and respect what you're doing, and it's like, it's really cool. It's really cool, you know, something to be a part of. So thanks for having me. It was no problem at all. I can talk about this stuff all day. So I just want more people to get into this stuff too, because it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Teda. Well, we will see you next time or whenever. We're glad to have you. So have a good weekend.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Teda.
Bye. Thanks.
All right. I need to get my camera set back up so you all can see me. Because I had to deactivate it. All right, there we go. So let's get to the. All right. All right, y'all. Yay! We did it! Our first coach chat. I'm so glad that y'all were here and y'all could witness it. I'm so glad that y'all enjoyed it. I love that sound. Yes. Thank you, Queen. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you to my awesome mods, Boss Geekery, Miss Hexley, Mad Madam M. Thank y'all so much. You weren't awkward at all, Peter.